I'm Mark Sleboda, and this is TheRealPolitick. The narrative continually promulgated by Western governments and media is that the West-backed Maidan Putsch regime in Ukraine is a democracy, and that the conflict there is about defending this so-called democracy. This could not be further from the truth. From its inception in 2014, overthrowing the Ukrainian government in a violent and unconstitutional West-backed putsch, the resulting regime has been the opposite of democracy. The putsch itself is regularly portrayed as a democratic revolution of dignity. This lovely, emotive, meaningless buzzword, because some people get dignity and others not so much. Where the people of Ukraine rose up as one and overthrew their pro-Russian dictator. Viktor Yanukovych, then president of Ukraine, was the last legitimate, truly democratically elected leader in the country, with overwhelming support, especially in the east of the country. It may shock many of you who have been led to believe otherwise, but consecutive polls taken during the Euromaidan show us that the majority of Ukrainians were actually against the Euromaidan protests. Dozens of police were killed, hundreds injured in gunfire, assaults with melee weapons, and burned alive in endless waves of thrown Molotov cocktails. Government buildings by the score were stormed, seized, and those inside were often beaten and some killed. In the US, on January 6, 2021, largely peaceful protesters over contested election results pushed their way past mostly passive security in the Capitol building in D.C., walked around like idiots, and took some selfies and pilfered a handful of souvenirs, and then went home. And it has been blown out of all proportion as an insurrection and even a coup. The Maidan in Ukraine was a real violent insurrection and seizure of power by an extremist minority supported by foreign powers.